Hey guys, it's Sam here with my top 10 books of 2016. '16 was a good reading year. I think around 84 books. I read some really good books this year, and so I made a list of my top 10, and I did order them this year. Sometimes I don't, but I decided I wanted to order them this year, so I did. Some of these could be switched around, but this is just the order I stuck with, so let's go ahead and get started. Coming in at number 10 is Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This book is about a girl who goes back to Italy to spend time with her long-lost father after her mother passes away, and I absolutely loved it. Italy's like one of my favorite places I've ever been. I have a lot of favorite places, but Italy's one of them. And it was actually set in Florence, which is a city I have not been to, but I just love Italy and just the Italian atmosphere in this book. It's not super well known, so you should go and read it if you have not heard of it, because it's a really good book. Coming in at number 9, of course, is The Crown by Kiera Cass. This is the fifth and conclusion to one of my favorite series ever, the Selection series. I have to say, though, this one was my least favorite of the whole series. I felt it was kind of rushed at times, but I couldn't not rate it really high because it's one of my favorite series, and I really liked seeing how everything turned out and who all the characters ended up with. Yeah, so that's why this is on my list. Coming at number 8 is actually a series, but I didn't want to separate all the books in the series because that's just annoying. And that is the Princess Diaries series by Meg Cabot, more specifically Princess Diaries, which is book 1, Princess in the Spotlight, which is book 2, and Princess in Pink, which is book 5, I think. And these were my 3 favorites of the ones that I read. I have not read the last one yet, but I have read the first 10, which is a lot of books. And they're just really fun reads. They're way different from the movies, and I really like the movies, but I like them both in their own way. And every time I just needed a pick-me-up read, I would just pick one of these up, and I could read it, like, really, really quickly. Coming in at number 7 is Psi Like You by Casey West. I have read 3 other Casey West books, but this one's definitely my favorite of hers so far. It's about a girl who writes notes with this like mysterious guy in her chemistry class, and she kind of starts to fall for him through these notes, but she has no idea who he is. So the book is about her trying to figure out who is, and it was just really, really cute. I really liked the romance in this book, and I've been really picky about my romance lately, but this one was a really good romance. It was cheesy, but it was cute, and I definitely would recommend it. And Casey West actually, I think, has 2 books coming out next year, which I'm super excited about, but you'll hear more about that when I do my anticipated reads of 2017 video. Coming in at number 6 is Open Road Summer by Emery Lord. This is about a girl who goes on tour with her best friend who is like a country music star, and it's just all about friendship. There is a little bit of a romance, and it's a cute romance, but it mostly focuses on friendship with her best friend, which I really liked. It was a nice change from the usual YA romance. And I just really, really liked it, and I can't wait to read more of Emery Lord's other books. I own 2 others, and I really need to get to those soon, but I really, really liked this one. Okay, now we're to the top 5, and number 5 is Bloodlines by Rochelle Mead. If you don't know, this is the spin-off series to the Vampire Academy series, which I really, really like, but so far I think I'm going to like this series even more. This was a great start to the series, and I cannot wait to continue. I hopefully will be able to continue it soon. But it follows 2 like side characters from the Vampire Academy series, and some of the main characters come up in here, but they're not like super prevalent, but they're there. But I really like these new characters a lot more than the characters in the original series, and I'm really excited to see where this series goes. Coming in at number 4 is Courage to Soar by Simone Biles with Michelle Burford. This is Simone Biles' autobiography. If you don't know who Simone Biles is, where have you been? She won like 4 gold medals at the Olympics. She's a pretty big deal, and I just really, really liked reading her autobiography. It was really interesting to see her growth as a gymnast through her perspective, because you always think that, oh, these superstars, like, they are just superstars and nothing can stop them. They don't have any self-doubt. But even, like, up until the Olympics, like, she was describing how, like, a couple months before the Olympics, she was, like, having all this self-doubt. But, like, everyone else is like, she's the greatest gymnast ever and she's gonna win so many gold medals. But it was just cool to see, like, the human side of her, because you think she's this big superstar, and she obviously doesn't have any issues, but she does because she's a human, and I just really, really liked it. She's just a really down-to-earth person, and I just really, really like her and really liked her autobiography, and I would definitely pick it up if you're a fan of Simone Biles. Coming in at number 3 is A Night Divided by Jennifer A. Nielsen. Jennifer A. Nielsen also wrote the Ascendance trilogy, which is The False Prince, The Runaway King, and The Shadow Throne, and I really like that series, but I think I liked this one even more. It's about a girl who, with her mother and brother, they get separated from her father and her other brother when the Berlin Wall goes up. One day she sees her father across the Berlin Wall, and he's telling her that she needs to dig a hole underneath the wall and tunnel to safety. And if you don't know, the Berlin Wall is not just like a wall, like it was this entire complex. There was a wall, but then there was also like an area in the middle, and then barbed wire, and it was like a really long thing, so it's not like you could just tunnel under the wall. She had to like make a huge tunnel and go all the way under, and I could not put this book down because it was so intense, and I just wanted to know if they were going to actually escape and make it, or if they were going to get caught by the police, and oh my gosh, it was so good. I think it's more middle grade. I think it's classified with the YA, but it's kind of intense, so maybe it's a little too intense for middle grade, but the main character's like 12, so, but I didn't feel like I was reading from a 12-year-old's perspective. I really thought she was a good character and a good narrator, and I would definitely pick this one up. It was really, really good. And number 2, should come as no surprise, is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. If you don't know, Morgan Matson is like one of my favorite authors, if not my favorite author, and this is her latest book. It's about a girl who's a politician's daughter, and her dad gets involved with this big scandal, and so her summer plans that she originally had just completely go out the window because of this scandal, and she ends up walking dogs, and she's not really a big dog person, and then she meets a guy, and it's a really, really cute romance. I just love Morgan Matson's writing. Her characters are always so great. The romance is always great, and I just love her books so, so much. If you have not picked up a Morgan Matson book, go do it now. And actually, I do have to say this might be my least favorite of her books, but obviously it's number 2 on my list. That just shows you how much I like her. That my least favorite book of hers still comes in like almost at the top. And definitely you should go read this book. And coming in at number 1, my favorite book of the year, which kind of came as a surprise to me, is The Martian by Andy Weir. It's not a YA book. What? I read this for booktubeathon this summer, and oh my gosh, it was so good. It's about a man who gets stranded on Mars, and he's trying to like survive until they can come rescue him, and it's very complicated to rescue people from Mars because it's so far away, and you have to wait till like the Earth and Mars and the Sun are all lined up right so that you can get there in the shortest time, but that obviously doesn't happen all the time, so they have to wait and do all this stuff to try to rescue him before he runs out of food, and it's so good. It's kind of like A Night Divided in that you're like, I have to find out if he survives, if he's gonna die, and you just can't stop reading. There was a lot of like science-y elements to this book, and if you don't know, I'm a chemistry major, and so I love anything to do with science, and I love anything to do with space. So this was like the perfect book for me to read, and I watched the movie, and the movie's really, really good as well. But if you're a fan of like space books or science stuff, I would definitely give this one a go. So those were my favorite books of the year. What were some of your favorite books of 2016? Please let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you again next time. Goodbye!